Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. I'm back. Back for another episode. Let me officially introduce the show. I ain't gonna lie, I miss playing the music before the show. Well, no, for the streaming portion of the show. So I just gotta continue doing my pregame on my own, and I can't really spice the show up, get things going on the streaming end, but it's all good. It's all good. Let me pull up this intro. It's a Taste to Consider podcast. I'm your host, Derek Silver, and I'm back for another episode. I'm back for another episode. I'm laughing because right in the midst of me setting up, well, I already had it set up by then. In the midst of me pre-gaming for the show, I just popped up on Instagram real quick, just to pass some time while I let my phone charge a little bit. And I came across this post. And anybody know me, they know how I feel about Nia Long. Yeah, she posted on her story. Somebody else initially posted it, and she put it on her story. It says, too much attention from a side chick makes a midlife crisis man think he's a king. Easy, Tiger. It's just a paper hat from the kids' table. And I saw, I started looking in the comments, saw ladies up in there talking, all that stuff, that's tea and all that crap that they be talking these days, and the little that little finger emoji stuff and all that. And then I seen some actual logical people in there as well, and they had the same thought that I had when I seen the post. And so I just had to comment. I comment every once in a while on posts and stuff like that. I don't do it enough because I just don't be feeling like wasting my time getting into back and forth with people. But I had to comment or whatever because it was just the first thing that popped into my mind. And I was like, I love Nia. Lord knows I do. But why the main not making him feel like a king from the jump? And like, that's just for real. That's just for real. And it was surprisingly other people in there saying the same thing. Well, not surprisingly. I seen guys referencing the same thing, and I seen women in there referencing the same thing too. But, I just thought that was funny, and I was just thinking about it when I hit the record button. I was like, I just gotta start with this. Wasn't even on the outline, even though I don't really have an outline. I said I was gonna have an outline last show. No, I still put together a little makeshift outline. I didn't really get to do it like I normally do. Burp number 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I was pre-gaming a little bit before I recorded. But shout out to all the followers, subscribers, YouTube viewers, the listeners on streaming services and all that. Just released a new episode of Taste Reviews Drink Edition on YouTube. Make sure you check it out. Shout out to people who already checked it out, like, share, all that good stuff. Appreciate you. Donated to the show, all that good stuff. I definitely appreciate it. So I'm just gonna start off with my the first thing that's on my makeshift outline, and it's the Katrina documentary that came out on YouTube. And it's a new one that's about to come out on Netflix because it is the what is it, the 20th or 25th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's why the docs are coming out. But the one that I most recently watched was the one that was on. It's on Hulu and Disney Plus, but it's a National Geographic documentary, and it was produced by Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler, did Black Panther. Um, what else he do? He did Sinners, and yeah. So we know who Ryan Coogler is. And this documentary, man, it you know, I'm pretty sure every black person remembers Hurricane Katrina because it hit us in a certain type of way, um, because of what we saw black people go through down there during the hurricane and the aftermath of the hurricane, all the stuff that they did. But I learned more stuff with this documentary because I watched documentaries on Hurricane Katrina before. Particularly, it was one that came out that Spike Lee did, and it came out on HBO. I believe it was called damn when the bow breaks or something like that. I think that's what it was called. Um, but this one right here, the one that's on Hulu and Disney Plus, it's four episodes to it. No, it's five. I believe it's either four or five. But this one, it really went in depth on the hurricane, particularly the aftermath of the hurricane. And I learned so much stuff with this documentary, man. Like I remember watching it. I started watching it one night, and I didn't know how many episodes it was, but I was up to like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning just to finish it because I was like, I gotta finish this documentary because one, it was very informative on what the people down there had to go through, and two, it pissed me off, and three, it made me sad as hell. Like it made me sad and angry at the same time. It pissed me the hell off, and I, I recommend everybody to watch that jump. Like it was a good documentary. It was a good documentary as far as the information that it gave. But it was sad and it will make you angry. The stuff that the people had to go through during the aftermath. And that documentary just showed me and it confirmed for me that there's so many people in high positions that just have no clue. They have no clue at all. They have no leadership abilities. They have no empathy. They have no sympathy. They only care about their status. They only care about their whatever agenda that they have in place. They just don't care about people. And this is why I just don't trust no type of politician or public official because they don't care about people. They care about status, how they, how they look, what position they hold and all that other stuff. They don't care about the people. They just don't care about the people. It was only one person doing all of that Katrina aftermath that really showed that he cared about the people. And that was I forgot his name. I should have wrote that. I should have wrote his name down. But he was the lieutenant colonel that was coordinating the the I guess the rescue efforts. He was the only one that was really caring about the people. And I gotta look his name up, man, because I really gotta say his name. Um, I'm hoping I can find it. But yeah, he was the only person that was really out there, like showing that he cared about the people. Let me see if I can find his name. Yeah, his name. He was Army Lieutenant General. So I thought he was Lieutenant Colonel. Army Lieutenant General Russell Honore. Yeah, it's the 20th anniversary of the Katrina hurricane. So yeah, Lieutenant General Russell L. Honore. He was the military commander responsible for the response to Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Okay. It says, although he was lieutenant general, his name is often associated with the lieutenant colonel. Okay, so yeah, that makes sense why I thought lieutenant colonel. But yeah, General Russell Honore, and he was very prominent in the documentary as well, telling his side of the story, the things that he saw, things that he went through, the crap that he saw with some of them other public officials when it came to the FEMA director and stuff like that. Man, that documentary, man, it was deep. I gotta say, it was deep, and it's so good that I will watch it again. That's how good. I watched it twice actually. So, and even after watching it twice, like I will watch that documentary again. So it'll be interesting to see when the Netflix documentary come out. It comes out August 27th, which is tomorrow because I'm recording on August 26th. So I'll be very interested. I think it's the 27th. I don't want to speak out, but yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that documentary compares to the one with the National Geographic one that was on Hulu and Disney Plus. But yeah, check that joint out, man. That joint was deep. It was sad. It'll make you angry. It was tragic, but it was very informative. And I think a lot of times people don't like watching stuff like that because of it will make them angry and sad and stuff. But I feel like in this particular situation, like particularly black people, we should watch this documentary because it will give you an insight on how you should prepare for certain natural disasters and not, solely count on or put your faith into public officials to, keep you safe or, look out for you and stuff like that. We need to have our own plan in these type of situations. Every family, period, every person, whether you live alone, whether you got a family, anything, you should have a plan in place for natural disasters, period. You should have meetup points for your family and friends, certain supplies, stuff like that, because you can't count on these public officials because I swear, man, these people are not the brightest, man. Like in one particular instance, like the mayor of New Orleans, Ray Nagin at the time, he waited until like a couple of hours before the hurricane was supposed to hit to declare a full evacuation of New Orleans. And I'm like, bruh, why didn't you do this a day or two before? Like you had all the information that this was going to be like a Category 5 hurricane coming and all this other stuff. You should have did that from jump. And like for the people who didn't have the means and stuff, particularly the people in the Ninth Ward and stuff like that, the means to get out of town and stuff, you should have had places for them. You just got to watch this documentary because like I don't want to give stuff away because it's like the dumbest planning ever. Like I feel like teenagers could have planned this evacuation better. Like it just makes no sense that these grown adults was just so terrible at planning this. And it was just so sad because a lot of people died, a lot of people lost their homes, family members and stuff like that. And then like the false reports of the national media and how they was reporting stuff and on people quote unquote looting and all that other stuff. It was just all the way around. It was just a lot of deep rooted racism and stuff like that equated into all of this, into this natural disaster. And the last thing I'm going to talk about as far as this documentary, and I heard this even when I watched the Spike Lee documentary, and even when I just read stuff period about Hurricane Katrina, and particularly the Ninth Ward where the levees broke. And allegedly where the levees broke. Even on this new documentary, I heard it again. People saying they heard an explosion. And there has been that talk from years in the past about how people believe that they intentionally blew up the levees in the Ninth Ward. And it's just man, you just can't trust these public officials. You can't trust the people that's in the background controlling these people, that's public officials or elected officials and all that other stuff. It's just crazy, man. It's just a sad thing all around, and it will make you angry, but it really, really was a good documentary. It really was. But speaking of politicians, I'll just segue into that. Y'all man Trump, he came out and I talked about on the last podcast about how the burp number whatever, how he deployed National Guard and other federal agencies in DC, in my area and stuff like that. And now he's been talking about doing it in Chicago and New York, right? So he recently did a press conference, and this is what he had to say. And there was a lot of, undertones to this.
An incredible job working with the police. And we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
Yeah, so what I found interesting with, what I found interesting with that press conference that he did right there was the fact that, he was talking about Chicago, and there was some undertones there, right? There was definitely some undertones. And the undertones was the fact that, okay, so let's assume that the average black person knows about Chicago, that live outside of Chicago, that most of, the violence and stuff is from black people, right? We've heard the term Chirac and stuff, because of the violence from black people being killed, particularly black men, black boys. That's where the majority of the crime that the media focuses on. I don't know the statistics for the crime outside of black people, but I do know that the media focuses on the crime when it comes to black boys and black men. They call it Chirac for a reason. And if you just, look to the other side of things in our quote unquote culture, when you think about drill music, that's where a lot of people feel as though that drill music was created or originated from, was Chicago. And the drill music focuses on, talking about killing. I look at it like when people was talking about drill music, it's just another way of them just saying gangster rap, because they was talking the same thing back in the 90s when quote unquote gangster rap came out. But the undertones of it was the fact that he mentioned black women. He mentioned black women, and he said that he focused on black women, talking about black women said they want me to deploy the National Guard and stuff out there really bad and all that other stuff. And there's undertones to that because this is the white supremacist play that they always do, right? Black boys and black men is the number one enemy of the white supremacist system. And they've been doing this for decades. They've been doing this shit centuries. Like, this has always been the play. You can go back and listen to my episode called Still Lynching when I was talking about the Willie Lynch theory. Or just read the Willie Lynch theory. It'll take you 15 minutes to read it. Literally 15 minutes. It won't take long. They've been using this tactic with our community for a long time. So when I heard him say, the African American ladies was asking or begging, please, President Trump, come to Chicago, please. That's just another tactic of dividing our community, the black women and the black men, and having them be against each other. And to also psychologically play with the black women's minds to think that we are a threat. And that has been done for a long time. Black boys and black men have been a threat to everybody for years. We are the number one threat for white supremacy. And they want to definitely make sure that black women see us as a threat as well. Because if you have a divide in our community, then you have no protection in the community. If black women always see black boys and black men as a threat, just like the white supremacy system sees it, then there will never be no unity. Never. Never. I'm going to play the clip again because I think it's important. I think it's important to hear what he says.
The Guard has done such an incredible job working with the police, and we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent, and we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York.
Like, I mean, it speaks for itself. And I've always looked at it like, how should I say this? There's a lot of black women out here that look at white men as their savior, as their knight in shining armor, that white men are better than black men, that they're safer than black men. So I'm going to play this clip right here. This is Tom Brady. Tom Brady, he compliments a sports reporter on her hair. And that lady is a black woman. But what was interesting about the whole the whole commentary after this clip came out was the fact that it was so many black women that was just fawning and falling in love over the fact that Tom Brady complimented this black woman's hair, her natural hair. So let me play the clip.
Morgan, I love your hair.
Thank you. It's a lot to deal
Beautiful.
with, but when it's a good day, it's a good day. Today's a good day. Lot to
Other
maintain.
girl. Where you at?
I'm in Philly.
Morgan, I love your hair.
Thank you. It's a lot to deal
Beautiful.
with, but when it's a good day, it's a good day. Today's a good day. Lot to
Other
maintain.
girl. Where you at?
I just thought I should just play it twice. But it was just funny. It was just so funny how it was so many black women in the comments just fawning over the fact that Tom Brady complimented this black woman's natural hair. I was going to read some of the comments, but I don't even want to read the comments. I don't even care. But I just look at it like, it saddens me and it angers me at the same time that there's so many black women that look at black men like we're bad. We're bad. We're trouble. We aren't worthy. We are a threat to them. We are animals. They look at us just like how the white people look at us. And I'm not saying all black women. Because I know better. But the majority of them, yes. And honestly, there's an underlying thing to it. Like, seriously. And I know it's all programming. Because all you've grown up to see is negative images of black people. And whatever issue you've gone through with black men, and systematically these things have been put in place. And I'm not saying that's an excuse, especially for black men. We definitely need to step up and do better in a lot of ways. I definitely believe that. But I also believe that there's a lot of black women that are indoctrinated that don't want black men to step up. They don't want to unify with us. There's a lot of trauma. And most of the trauma, I feel, is passed down trauma. It's not really personal trauma. It's trauma that's been passed down. Just like it is on the other side for black men not to trust black women and stuff like that. So I definitely don't look at it like it's who is greater and all that other stuff. I feel like we both been played. Both sides have been played. We both are still being played. And both sides are weak, and we're allowing ourselves to keep being played. I just look at it like that. I really do. But let me play this clip. This is a black woman. She, from the caption, she considers herself a feminist. And that's where a lot of this stuff, I talked about this plenty of times on the pod before about feminists and misandrists and stuff, and how they look at black boys and black men or whatever. But this one was interesting. And I'm just basing this off the caption. I haven't even listened to this clip yet, but I know it's going to be interesting.
teaching at an all-boys school this year, and the numbers on boys, the statistics are staggering. This is going to make me empathetic towards men. It's not a route I chose to go down, but God, it pains me to say. It just pains me to say. For every 100 girls or women, this is how many boys or men that are enrolled in a U.S. college. There are 75 boys. For every 100 girls or women who took an AP course, there are 76 boys. Earn an associate's degree, there are 61 boys. Bachelor's degree, there are 73 boys. All right, now those numbers don't sound too crazy, right? For every 100 girls or women whose entry into kindergarten is delayed, that means they start kindergarten late, 139 boys or men. In K through 12, who are classified as having a specific learning disability, there are 144 boys. Repeat kindergarten, there are 145 boys. For every 100 girls who are suspended from school, 195 boys. That's almost double. For every 100 girls who are expelled from public school, 223 boys. These numbers are blowing my mind. For every 100 girls between the ages of 15 and 19 who unalive themselves, 293 boys. Ages 25 to 29 who unalive themselves, ages 25 to 29, 100 girls and women, 418 boys and men. And lastly, for every 100 girls or women who are incarcerated in state and federal prisons, 1,225 boys or men.
Now I'm gonna let it just play again, replay, because I want you to hear a specific part.
All boys school this year, and the numbers on boys, the statistics are staggering. This is gonna make me empathetic towards men.
She said, this is going to make me empathetic towards men. Now, listen to the next part.
It's not a route I chose to go down, but God, it pains me to say.
It pains me to say. This is a black woman right here. This is a black woman right here. This is the shit I be talking about. Like, the anger that I feel in the middle of my chest right now. Like, this is the stuff that pisses me off. This is why I advocate so much for black boys and black men and their mental health, because this is the type of crap that I've experienced from the time that I was a little boy that I still experience to this day. That the first thought of me is negative. But this is the type of stuff I be talking about right here. Like, black boys and black men, we get no respect. We are a threat to everybody. We are perceived as a threat from the first moment. We don't get the benefit of the doubt. We don't get the benefit of the doubt. We don't. Now let me play this next clip right here. This one is titled Black Man, the World's Worst Nightmare.
The director of the FBI himself, J. Edgar Hoover, once said, the biggest threat to America is Negro unity. So let that sink in. The world's biggest fear is not World War III. It's not politics. Their worst nightmare is for the black men to rise up. Their worst nightmare is for the black men to put down the drugs, to let go of the self-hatred, and to unite. Because once they wake up, it's over. Just think about it. Every system that's in place right now profits off the destruction of the black man. Prisons, the streets, the music they push, the poisons they put out in our communities, it's all meant to distract and divide. Because if the black man ever really knew his true powers, they would never be able to control him. They feed you drugs to numb you. They tell you lies so you hate yourself. They pit you against each other so you never see who the real enemy is. And the sad part about it, most of us are playing right into their hands, Can you imagine a generation of black men who choose discipline over destruction, unity over ego, purpose over pain? That scares them because once we put that energy together, we don't just change our lives, we change the whole world. So you gotta ask yourself, are you gonna keep feeding into your plan, or are you gonna wake up and become the worst nightmare that they prayed would never come true?
And I'm going to let this play over again, and I'm going to stop and pause and comment throughout it. But one of the things that really stood out to me with this clip that I've seen and experienced in several instances was the unity versus ego part. Black men definitely been pit against each other. Like, there's always a perceived unity between black men. We call each other bros and homies or whatever term we use. But it be bullshit because it be underlying competition, underlying animosity, and that ego of who's better, who's stronger, who's faster, who's the smartest, who's the best looking, etc., etc. Always competing. And this is coming from personal experience. And I used to think that I was just tripping. But I've seen this shit too many times. I've experienced it too many times. I felt it too many times where another black man was trying to compete with me or had some type of underlying animosity towards me. And it will always blow my mind because I'm far from the the most what's the word? I'm far from the most cocky person in the world. Nowhere near. Like, my confidence is shaky at best. And that's just to be the most vulnerable I can be, especially when it comes to me experiencing depression and anxiety throughout my life, and the mental struggles and battles that I go through on the daily. For anybody to think that I was being cocky or anything, the type of crap that I've gone through with other black males, with them having some type of underlying animosity or underlying competition towards me, it is crazy. It's crazy. So let me play the clip again.
The director of the FBI himself, J. Edgar Hoover, once said, the biggest threat to America is Negro unity. So let that sink in. The world's biggest fear is not World War III. It's not politics. Their worst nightmare is for the black men to rise up. Their worst nightmare is for the black men to put down the drugs.
And what I say to that is, burp number, whatever. Got another one coming. Yeah, whatever. What I say to that is, what I know of black men, me being a black man myself, and just becoming older and wiser and understanding other black men more, older black men, we've taken the back seat to a lot of things. We've been quiet on a lot of things because we just don't want the drama. We don't feel like going back and forth. We don't want the drama. We think it's a waste of time and stuff like that. But it's time for us to start speaking up. It's time for us to start stepping up. It's time for us to start demanding the things that we deserve. Being vulnerable And when I say being vulnerable, saying how we feel and standing on that and not being concerned with what anybody else has to say, whether that be another black man, a black woman, a white man, Asian man, woman, whoever. We got to start standing 10 toes down on how we feel, the things that we've experienced, and what we want out of life. And let the chips fall where they fall. We got to stop playing these docile games. We got to stop being docile. We have to tell it like it is. We sit here and, go throughout life and be quiet and let people run over us and stuff like that and just take it out on the people that's close to us. That ain't healthy. We got to be more grounded in who we are and who we believe we are and who we believe that God created us to be. And let the chips fall where they fall. Everybody is not going to like us. Everybody is not going to agree with us. We may lose some people. But we got to be leaders. We got to be leaders for our family. We got to be leaders for our community. Shit, we got to be leaders for ourselves. We spent too much time as black men being quiet, being scared, and being docile. And I understand why. We've had a lot of stuff throughout history that shows when we step up, when we speak out loud, when we stand on 10 toes, we're going to be killed. We're going to be lynched. We're going to be burned. We're going to be chastised. We're going to be left alone. But I feel like at this point, the alternative of being our true selves is better than just going along to get along.
To let go of the self-hatred and to unite. Because once they wake up, it's over. Just think about it. Every system that's in place right now profits off the destruction of the black man. Prisons, the streets, the music they push, the poisons they put out in our communities. It's all meant to distract and divide. Because if the black man ever really knew his true powers, they would never be able to control him. They feed you drugs to numb you. They tell you lies so you hate yourself. They pit you against each other so you never see who the real enemy is.
And that's exactly the thing. They pit us together so we won't see who the real enemy is. We have a lot of hate towards ourselves, and that hate towards ourselves we take out on each other. There's a lot of anger inside of us. And we don't know how to regulate that anger. So we take it out on other people that look like us. Because it's easier to take it out on somebody else that looks like us as opposed to taking it out on ourselves. It's easier to do that. And like I was just saying, we too docile. We're afraid to take it out. We're afraid to channel that anger, that energy of anger, that emotion of anger out on the people, the places that it should be taken out on. Or we don't alchemize it into creative aspects or in creative ways to ground ourselves, or just to channel that energy so we not out here destroying ourselves or destroying other black men. That's not what we doing. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, when it comes to being a black man, for one, we never been taught how to channel our emotions. or to ground ourselves or to regulate those emotions. We don't know how to do that. We don't. And a lot of the times, the ways that we've been taught to regulate or channel those emotions is always come out in some form of aggression, and that aggression being in some type of sports or something, which is not necessarily bad. I mean, because it's still getting channeled, but everybody don't know how to play sports. Everybody ain't athletic. Everybody don't, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't into sports. So we don't allow black boys to explore other avenues outside of athletics. Granted, there are black men out here that have done that, but we don't promote that stuff. We don't promote black men becoming chefs. We don't promote black men becoming artists and stuff like that. We don't do that. There are black men out here that have become chefs and artists and stuff like that, but we don't promote that. We solely promote athletics. But everybody ain't an athlete. Everybody ain't an athlete, you know? And I don't know.
And the sad part about it, most of us are playing right into their hands. Can you imagine a generation of black men who choose discipline over destruction, unity over ego, purpose over pain?
I think, the discipline over destruction part is key as well. There's a lot of black men out here coping. I've been in that place, coping with alcohol, coping with beating myself up, talking negative, thinking I deserve bad things in my life, that's destruction. So when I look at things in my life like going to the gym 5 to 6 days a week, that's discipline. Me intermittent fasting for 6 years now, that's discipline. Just most recently, and I forgot to add this to the outline. That's why I need to be getting into the outline better. The past 3 Mondays, I've been fasting for a full day, 24 hours. That's the baseline, 24 hours. The first Monday that I decided to really do it, because I've done it before, but when I actually decided that I was going to really be consistent and disciplined in fasting 1 day a week, that first Monday I did 36 hours. And the 24 hours was easy. Once I got to 36, that was kind of a struggle, because it became a struggle because I was in the midst of those 36 hours. I went to the gym twice and I was lifting weights and stuff. So that second workout, that's when it became a struggle, because I was low on energy, and it was the first time that I really did 36 hours without, eating. I was just drinking water or drinking tea. And the Monday after that, I just did 24 hours. I was like, I'm just gonna stick to 24 hours for now until I start building myself up. And this past Monday, today is Tuesday that I'm recording. So yesterday was the 25th of August, and that day was actually yesterday was actually easier. I did 24 hours, so I ended up eating something before I went to bed, which wasn't probably the best thing, but I wanted to have some type of plan in place. And what I noticed was that this third day that I did a full fast is that I have to have a plan in place. I have to have a plan in place, particularly when I decide to eat after that 24 hours. And also, I noticed that a lot of times when I feel that I'm hungry, I'm not really hungry. I mean, I already knew this, that I just need to drink some water and I'll be fine. But I also noticed that I lose track of time. Like yesterday, I lost track of time doing that fast. Like I didn't realize it was I didn't realize it was 10 o'clock at night at one point. Like until like I really looked at my phone and I noticed like it's 10 o'clock. Like I lost track of time. And I also realized that in the midst of me doing this fast, that I need to focus on something. I need to focus on something, not just sitting around watching TV. I need to use my energy to do something, whether it be, some type of hobby or something that I've been putting off for a while, whether it's reading or doing my writing and stuff like that. Cause last week, I noticed there was a lot of clarity there, and I was able to write a poem, and I was able to get out some feelings that I had from years ago, and I wrote it into a poem. So I do notice that when I do the 24-hour fast, that there is a lot of clarity there for me to get things out. I do notice that. So the whole reason that I started even doing the 24-hour fast one day a week, and the reason why I focused on Monday was because God told me to do it. God told me to do it. He told me to do it a while ago. He told me to do it a couple of years ago. And the funny thing about it is I always struggle when I talk to God and I pray and stuff like that. I always struggle with hearing from him, and I want to hear certain things from him. And sometimes I know it's just me being pressed and me trying to press God for answers and stuff like that. And it was funny because with the 4-day fast and stuff was that I felt it inside me. Like I felt like I felt God speaking to me inside of my body. So I would say my soul, my spirit, I felt him speaking to it and telling me this is something that I should do. And I was putting it off and stuff like that, but I kept getting reminders of it. Like I kept getting reminders of it like on social media. and I found it funny that I kept getting reminders on social media because I would spend a lot of unnecessary time on social media sometimes. And I would get those reminders on social media. Same way that I would get it with my meditation. I'm heavy into meditation, but sometimes I be falling off. I haven't been as disciplined with my meditation as I used to be disciplined. Like I used to meditate twice a day. And it got to the point where like sometimes where you'll be lucky if you get a meditation out of me for a week. But I kept getting reminders of it. And it's funny because I had to talk to myself, and I had to say like, Derek, you always talk about you don't hear from God and you pray and you're not getting the answers you want and stuff. But I kept saying to myself, like, he is talking to you because you keep getting these reminders about this fast and meditation, and you may not know what the reason is for him telling you to do this is, but there is a reason. And that's what I've been telling myself with the 24-hour fast. I've been telling myself, Derek, you don't really know the reason why he's telling you to do this, but there is a reason. And when it's time for you to understand what the reason was, it will come out. It will come out. So that's what I've been, holding on to when it comes to the fast and to the meditation, because I'm still trying to be as consistent as I can with the meditation. Like I literally have an alarm in my phone for every day for when I should meditate. And sometimes, I I meditate and some days I don't. But I keep getting those reminders, like meditate. Like I literally feel it inside of me where my body is telling me. And I'm saying my body, but it's not really my body telling me. It's my spirit. My spirit is telling me, Dirk, go ahead and meditate. You need to meditate. And I don't do it sometimes. And that's me not being disciplined. That's me not being obedient to God. And whatever reason it is that he's telling me to do this, it's for a reason. It's for a purpose. I know it is. But I just got to get my physical together. You know what I'm saying? My years of habitual procrastination and laziness and lack of faith and stuff, I need to get that together. Because whatever that reason is that he's telling me to do this 24-hour fast or to meditate, it's for a reason. And I gotta follow it because I ain't got nothing but time. I really don't. Like I work from home. I still work from home. I'm blessed. Thank you, God. I'm blessed that I'm still working from home. I go into the office once or twice a month now. And I thank God for that. I could use more money, God. I could use an increase on my salary. But let me get back to the clip.
That scares them because once we put our energy together, we don't just change our lives, we change the whole world. So you got to ask yourself, are you going to keep feeding into your plan, or are you going to wake up and become the worst nightmare that they prayed would never come true? The director of the
And black men, we are definitely the worst nightmare of the world. We are the worst nightmare. Because if we finally get to the point where we come together and we stop, doing this, living this docile life and worrying about, excuse me, getting burp number, whatever, going back and forth with our black women, with our community, with other people, and we just do it. Just like I said, let the chips fall where they gonna fall. But when it comes down to, we gotta step up. And this is something just not me speaking to all the other black men. This is something that I felt even within myself in the past couple of years. Like, I gotta step up. I got to stop worrying about how the hell everybody around me feels about the things that I say, the things that I feel, and how I'm conducting myself. I'm tired of it. And that's when you should know that it is time to step up. When you get tired of it, you got to step up. I'm fine with anybody who ever is not ready to hop on this train. Like, I don't care. Like, that's how I feel right now. You got a problem with it? This is all I'm gonna say. Okay. And I'm gonna keep moving. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, this is what I've been telling myself. Like, I've been telling the other side of me who wants to be lazy, who wants to procrastinate, who wants to be afraid and all this other stuff. What you gonna do? Okay, and I'm gonna keep moving. Like, I gotta leave the other part of me behind. That's how I feel. Like, this is the stuff I've been writing in my journal. Like, I feel that. Like, I gotta leave people behind. I gotta leave people behind, and I gotta leave that other part of me behind. I got to. That's what I feel inside of me. I got to. And it's been hard as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been hard as hell. To leave people behind, knowing that I need to leave certain people behind, knowing that I got to leave the other part of me behind, the old part of me behind. Like, this, like when they talk about full circle, this is what I've been feeling. This is what I've been saying all them years I've been going to therapy. All them years I've been going to therapy. All the stuff I just talking about. With stepping up the discipline and the fasting, the meditating, how God has been speaking to me. I gotta leave shit behind. I gotta leave people behind. I gotta leave myself behind. I gotta leave my old mindset behind. I got to. I got to. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. But let me play this clip. I just came across this clip today, and it ties right into what I was just talking about. When it comes to black men and black women in our so-called culture and our so-called community.
Zara Ali stated that the reason why black men are perceived the way they're perceived or treated the way they're treated is because black women are the only race of women who literally will sit and talk about black men. You don't hear the Chinese women talking about Chinese men and the shit they do wrong. You don't hear Hispanic women talking about Hispanic men. You don't hear Arab women talking about Arab men. And you definitely really ever see white women talking about white men. All these other races of women will literally do anything they can to protect their race of men, except for black women. And I just don't fucking understand why. Black women grew up hating their black fathers, and that's the fucking reason why they hate black men. I feel bad for you black women who are raising black sons. Shit, even black daughters, because y'all teaching them the wrong shit. Black women are our own enemy.
And like, this is what I was talking about. And this ain't nothing new. Like, I got clips in my phone from the 1970s of stuff just like this with black women putting down black men and all this other stuff. Like, there's black women out here that are really just hating on their black boys, their black sons and stuff like that. And they teaching, and if they got black daughters, they teaching their daughters to hate black men because they hate black. This is why I was like, a lot of the trauma is not even personal trauma. It's passed down trauma. It is continuous trauma that is trauma and narratives and ideologies and mindsets and all that other stuff that's been passed down since slavery. Like, this is the Willie Lynch theory still living to this day. Still to this day. We are our own worst enemy. We are our own worst enemy. And that's why I say, black men, we just gotta step up. We just gotta step up and just say F it, and we just gotta just move forward. And we gotta let whoever else hop on the train. Whatever weak, docile black men that's sitting around, or whatever black man hating black woman sitting around, we got to move with the people who are of the same mindset and the same direction that we are. There's black men and black women out here that want the same thing, and we just got to move along and just let everybody else catch up if they do catch up. But this ain't no, and this is what pisses me off. Like, people always say social media ain't real, whatever, and all that other stuff. But it's like literal evidence 24/7 of this black man versus black woman stuff. Like, I seen something on Twitter that they about to have this forum of black women and black men talking about the divide, or what, I don't even know how to describe it. But it's just like a continuous, like, I feel like, and it's not a stretch for me to say this, like, we know about COINTELPRO and how the FBI purposely was trying to destroy black movements throughout the country. So if we know, we have literal evidence of this, but we will just bypass the fact that it's still going on today. And I believe it's still going on today. You see all these black women, you see all these black men out here with these platforms spewing this hatred toward each other and thinking that it couldn't be funded. Straight up funded. Like funded propaganda. Because why, when it comes to our quote unquote community, our quote unquote culture, those are the main conversations that are being promoted. The black man versus the black woman, those are the main conversations being promoted all over social media. Like this clip said, you don't see white women versus white men conversations. You don't see Asian women versus Asian men conversations. You don't see Hispanic women versus Hispanic men conversations promoted all over social media. But you only see black women versus black men conversations all over social media. And you don't think that it's possible that it could be funded to keep us further apart? We know that we should know our history. We should know our history. We should know our history. We should know that there have been plenty of operations in place to keep black people from reaching some sort of prominence. And I ain't talking about financial prominence. The example I used was COINTELPRO. So why wouldn't we think that these type of operations wouldn't still be in place to some form of degree? I just played earlier the clip of Trump in his press conference talking about bringing the National Guard and stuff to Chicago. And who did he reference in that press conference? He said, quote, African American women, we coming. We coming because we heard your cries. Come on now. Come on, man. Let me move on. I'm going to save that clip for later. All right, so Shacarri Richardson. This is just further playing into my examples of everything that's been going on. And Shacarri Richardson, she got into an issue with her boyfriend and whoever she's dating in the airport, right? And she got arrested for domestic abuse or violence or whatever it was. She was arrested for allegedly abusing her boyfriend. So I'm going to play you the clip, right? I'm going to play you the clip of the video cam from her arrest. And I just want you to hear. And this just shows and proves how black women have been programmed to look at black men as predators, as the aggressor, as the perpetrator.
For Christian, are you serious right now? Okay. I didn't assault him though.
Video cameras.
I literally we were having an argument. I'm not resisting, so you don't have to do it harder. Christian, are you serious right now? Christian.
He doesn't get a say.
But I understand. We were arguing. But I understand entirely. We were arguing. Okay. I'm not gonna resist, but I'm telling you that we was arguing. I didn't assault him. I didn't do anything wrong. But the fact that your guys are doing this to me and he's a man in this situation, I'm gonna comply. I am. I'm not gonna argue with you at all. But you have me on.
She said She said, I didn't do anything wrong, but the fact you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in this situation. I didn't do anything wrong, but the fact you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in this situation. That is learned behavior. That is learned behavior. That is learned behavior. Black men do not get the benefit of the doubt in domestic situations, man. We don't. And then the fact that when you look at statistics, black men are highly rated in the statistics of being domestically assaulted by their significant other. And we only talking about the reported numbers, because black men, all black men ain't going to report when they've been physically assaulted. Let me play the clip again.
Camera, but at the same time, what he has on camera, I have my phone, shows something different. So if I need to show that, I will. Okay, but I have my phone that shows something different. But Christian, thank you, Christian. Don't talk to him right now. Okay, I won't. Thank you so much, officer. They are arresting me right now, Christian. Sissy, they're arresting me right now. Am I gonna go actually to jail right now? You're actually gonna go to jail. Wait, but right now, yes, it's a physical I didn't. Can he tell you that I didn't do nothing to him? We have it on Christian, are you serious right now? All right. Christian, I'm about to go to jail because of you right now.
She keep talking to him when the officers already told her that it's not up to him. We seen you on tape. They said we seen you on tape assaulting him. We seen you on tape assaulting him. But I still can't get over the fact she said I didn't do anything. She's saying this to the police. I didn't do anything wrong, but the fact you guys are doing this to me and he's the man in this situation. So it is received that anytime in a domestic dispute, the man is the one that is the perpetrator. He's not, there's no way he can be the victim. No way he can be the victim. No way. He can't be the victim. He can't. Now, this other clip, I'm not sure. I don't remember if it's the exact same thing I just played or not. But let me just see. Let me just check. So bear with me. Let me check.
I don't feel as if like she should have been arrested. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, people have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. And she have like things that she needs to work on for herself, of course. So do I, so do you, like everybody. And I'm the type of guy, like, I'm in the business of just like extending grace and mercy and love.
Was there any type of physical assault?
No, I didn't touch him. He didn't touch me. I will be honest.
Hit him with anything?
No, I haven't hit him with anything.
Like
not at all. He had headphones that were mine, and I just grabbed the headphones, but not physically. If he would like to ask me, you can ask him, but I don't want anything.
Women are incapable at large. Women are incapable of seeing themselves as perpetrators, and men are incapable of seeing ourselves as victims. I've been a victim in this sense as well. When I think.
Okay, so it started off as the boyfriend, Shacarri Richardson's boyfriend, speaking out about this, and then it just played a little bit of Shacarri's police cam footage, and now it's going into some commentary. So I remember what this clip was now. So I agree with how once the clip went to the guy, and he was saying that black men we don't know how to be victims. We don't know how to be victims, because I know a lot of black men, including myself, that have been victims of some type of domestic violence, whether it's physical or to your property or whatever. Like, this is what it is.
Ourselves as perpetrators, and men are incapable of seeing ourselves as victims. I've been a victim in this sense as well. When I think back to those situations, and thank God I didn't retaliate, right? I think a part of me believed that I deserved it. When you see female discourse,
and that's deep right there, and I feel him on that. A lot of black men feel like we deserve the abuse that we get, because we've been programmed, just like black women been programmed, to think that we are perpetrators. Black women have been programmed to think that they are always the victims, even just the totality of it in general, women. And black men, we have been programmed to look at ourselves as we're perpetrators. That's how it is. That we got to be careful in all situations to not cross any type of line or boundary, so we won't get killed, shot, hung, burned, whatever.
Course around certain situations, like a situation where the man did something to a woman, it's an open and shut case. He's a monster, period. But when you
Black men are monsters to society, to the world. We are.
see discourse around situations like this or other situations, what did he do is the first thought. What did he do for this woman to slash his throat while he was sleeping? He must have done something, right? It speaks to two things. It speaks to women's overindulgence in
I don't know why they playing this music during the clip. It's just throwing me off that they playing this music during the clip.
female pathology. So like I'm over familiar with how women think, so it's easier for me to empathize and walk a mile in her shoes, proverbially. It's also drinking the Kool-Aid of believing women are inherently good people relative to men. So when women do things out of care, even now you see the hashtag women in men's spaces. When a woman is talking about cheating on her husband in 15 years, or a woman talking about abandoning her kids, as if women have never been doing that and they're just now acting like men.
Right. There's always been a level of masculinity that black women have been portraying throughout their lives and their interactions with black men. This ain't nothing new. And this is where social media clouds things or whatever, because they forget about past things just because it is not readily available through social media, which really it is, but they just don't want to be accountable to the fact that it's out there.
Because women can only conceptualize things like power or things like evil through thinking of men. It's doubly insidious because whereas we have been socialized to start with the benefit of the doubt, she's innocent until proven guilty. Women have been socialized in the reverse.
And that's a good way. I've been saying a lot, programmed and indoctrinated, but socialized is another way to say it. He's absolutely right. Women have been socialized to look at it that, they are always the victims, and men, but I'm only speaking on the black side of it. Black men looked at the victims, and black women are looked at as, black women are looked at as victims, and black men are looked at as the monsters or the perpetrators. And it's like, if any type of situation happened, and he referenced this as well, if any type of situation happened that a black woman has done something, whether is some form of violence, or whether she cheated or something like that, is always looked at. The first question is, okay, so what did he do?
In some ways, it's to keep them safe, but in other ways, it makes it impossible for them to think of men as humans.
Yeah, exactly. We aren't looked at as humans. We're easily taken for granted. Our value is very low outside of providing or protecting or doing something that adds value in the moment, whether it's feeding you, doing something, giving you a child, marrying you, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. But other than that, our value or our humanity is non-existent. We have no feelings. We have no type of gray area when it comes to our actions or when it comes to our thinking in the world or anything like that. We're just like, what? Anchors. We're anchors. We're used to hold down something. I don't know no other way to describe it. We're anchors. We're stands And when I'm saying stands, I'm looking at the light stand that I got over here, or the camera stand, or we're table legs, or you know what I'm saying. We what holds everything together for the time being. As soon as we start getting shaky, we ain't no good. You know, as soon as that stand start to get shaky, or them legs start getting shaky, or the foundation starts getting shaky, then we're no good. Then we're easily replaced after that.
A lot of women do not think of men as humans. At best, we are walking dildos with money, and at worst, we are monsters in waiting.
Monsters in Waiting. Wow, that might be the title of the episode right there. I'm gonna have to write that down to contemplate that. Monsters in Waiting. Monsters in Waiting. So let me go ahead and end this part because I'm getting hungry and it's getting a little late and I gotta use the bathroom as well after that pre-gaming. But I'm ending it off with this. Where is that? Yeah, so y'all know Cracker Barrel changed his logo up, man. And this is just getting crazy right now. I hate social media and I hate the way society is today and how sensitive and how like certain whites are misinterpreting and taking hold of our language, excuse me again, and making it something else. So Cracker Barrel has changed its logo and they changed the inside of their restaurants and stuff, making it more brighter and stuff like that, and not making it so I guess so country. I don't know, cause I ain't been to Cracker Barrel in a while, but they getting a lot of backlash and everybody writing think pieces about it, even on both sides. Like I understand there's gonna be the racist and prejudice and bigoted white people gonna have their think pieces. That's fine, because I can care less. But I'm like, why is black people writing think pieces about this Cracker Barrel situation? Everybody want to be this is why. This is one of my issues, like with what's going on now with all these podcasts and the mics and people talking on social media. Everybody wants to be the smartest person in the room. Everybody wants to be right. And that's why I keep telling myself, and how I've been telling myself for years, even back in 2017 when I started my blog, my mental health blog, and I was doing my mental health advocacy and the speaking engagement and stuff like that, and being on the pod and stuff. I'm not trying to be the smartest person in the room. I'm not trying to be right. I'm just trying to be myself. And everybody's just trying to be so smart and with these think pieces and shit. And I'm just like, bruh, y'all doing all these think pieces on this Cracker Barrel situation. If y'all don't just shut up and take y'all asses to Cracker Barrel and get y'all some crispy edges pancakes and just leave this crap alone. Like, this is a restaurant we talking about and y'all doing think pieces on it. Like, it is not that damn serious. Either y'all gonna eat there or you're not gonna eat there. So if you're gonna keep eating there, just shut up, go get you some pancakes, some greens, some bland macaroni and cheese, and that bland chicken and dumplings, and just be quiet, man. It's not that serious for you to be thinking about having all this commentary and these think pieces for some Cracker Barrel. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious. If it's that serious, learn how to make it on your own. Or if you already know how to make it on your own, just make it on your own. And it just ain't that serious. A damn Cracker Barrel. I wasting my damn time. They doing think pieces, Trump talking about it and everything. Cracker Barrel came out with a whole statement. I was gonna read it, but I ain't got time for that crap, man. We talking about Cracker Barrel. We talking about Cracker Barrel. Like, at this moment, I feel like Allen Iverson right now. We talking about practice. Man, we talking about Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel. Y'all having think pieces about Cracker Barrel? Cracker Barrel. All I know is the next time I go to Cracker Barrel, I'm going to give me some crispy edges, pancakes, And that's all I'm thinking about. I ain't thinking about how they painted the store, what logo is gone, if it's a real cracker working up in there or not. I'm eating me some pancakes. That's all I'm thinking about. Hey, this has been a Taste to Consider podcast. I'm your host, Derek Silver, and I am out.